I have done a series about Manchester United problems, about 4 episodes. Today, I'll start with the solutions, which I think will be good to improve the team. I know I'm not qualified to be part of the technical team or whoever is in charge of Manchester United. I'm just a keen supporter, a keen fan who watches from far. But I believe some of my points will help to improve the great team. Starting with the media, we have told you that the media is very critical with Manchester United, with everything it does. But what I think, starting with the press conference, you remember even Ten Hag banned some people in the press conference. I believe the current setup need to do that. They need to ban certain journalists in the press conference. They need also, if there's people who spread lies about Manchester United, be it writing, be it on TV, they need to pursue, they need to sue them, they need to go in the court direction. That's what I think. They say there's a freedom of press, but I don't think when they say it's freedom of press is freedom to say what you want. It means you should spread a wrong narrative, especially if you know that you've got a big following. That's what I think. We need to ban some of those people. We need even to pursue the court route to sue some of those people, to take an example that you just don't drag this name of this great team in the mud. That's what I think. I don't know what to say. The second part, I also think they need to have a meeting with ex-players, especially those who are involved in media. Those likes of Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, Paul Ince, a lot. You know, there's a lot of people, Rio Ferdinand, all those guys who are into media. I believe they need to have a meeting with them and help them understand what their duty is. Help them understand that whatever they say, it affects the team. Help them understand that whatever they say, it goes far because they've got a big reach and they are role models of a lot of people. There are ex-players who are not in media. The people like Beckham, who owns teams and what, you never hear them being critical about Manchester United. It's just the problem about these ones who are in media, who are paid, in my own view, to say narratives which suits the certain channel. It's not like they're being paid to lie or what, but every channel you've got its narrative it want to spread. Some they only focus on the negative things. So I believe they need to sit down and talk to some of these ex-players to give them even some ambassadorial roles, paid ambassadorial roles or non-paid, whatever you call it. I know there are ambassadors which are there, but with this INEOS which came in, which is his job is just to cut. I don't know if they're able to do it, but I believe they're supposed to do it, because the more people spread a positive word about the team, the more the team improves. I've listened to cricket. If there are people who watch cricket, listen to when the ex-players are talking of cricket, listen to the commentary of cricket. They are very positive in anything, even in ordinary bowling action. They say it was out of this world, even just ordinary betting action. You should take time to listen to cricket when they are commenting, even the ex-players of cricket. Those guys are so positive. If we can bring such attitude to the team, to the great team, I can tell you we are going to improve. It will help a lot. You might not see it now, but in future you see the results, you will repeat the results. The other thing which I think, the third part, the long contract of the coach. Ruben Amorim was given a 2.5 year contract, which means the half is almost finishing. And we all know that no coach of Manchester United goes into the last year being safe. So it means Ruben Amorim has got only roughly 1 year the next season to prove his worth. May I believe when you bring a coach, give him, say, I'll give you 5 years. In the 4th year, going to the 5th year, we need to see your worth. We need to see what you are doing. We're going to support you. You tell us what you want. Us, we'll tell you what you want. But we'll give you time to work. If you're gonna start with kids, start with kids, but we'll give you a long contract. This thing of scaring the coach, you give him 2 years, it's like you're already telling him that we're giving you the job, but we don't trust you. So by doing so also, the coach is not really comfortable in doing what he's supposed to be doing, because he's afraid, if I do this, my contract, is it going to be extended? Things like that. The other part, I would say, get rid of useless players. Useless might be a difficult word, but I would say get rid of players who are not contributing to what we want in the team. Never be afraid of getting rid of players. Never be afraid of selling players, even if the player is a fan favorite. But if you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing at the club, you should go. We need people who think the same, who have got a uniform approach of doing things. So never be afraid of getting rid of any players. Never be afraid of the backlash from the media, backlash from some fans, even ex-players. If you feel that this person is not in our direction, is not thinking the way we're thinking, get rid of that player, sell that player, no matter who you are, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, whoever, as long as you're not thinking the way the club wants to go, or the way other players are thinking, you're not doing a uniform approach, you just have your star boy mentality, get rid of that player. Because one toxic element in the changing room, it affects everyone. They always tell you about one rotten apple spoils the whole box. If you just have one person who's got his mentality of coming late, delaying, not serious in training, tomorrow it will be another one, the next day it will be another one. But small kids also, the young players will be looking that if this one can come late and they're doing nothing, so tomorrow also I'm going to come late. If this one can lie and they're doing nothing, tomorrow also I'm going to lie and they won't do nothing. So get rid of those players. Sorry, today I've got a bit of a cold, but I'll move on. Promote more youth players. We have seen from history-wise, from the great Alex Ferguson, you see what they did, the one which they call class of 1992, which ended up winning the treble in 1999, which was Ryan Giggs, Beckham, Scholes, Nicky Butt, Gary, Philip Neville. The class of 1992. They were promoted from the junior team, all of them at once. And the people, they were complaining that you won't win anything with the kids. But check what they did 7 seasons later. So my advice to the current setup, don't be afraid to promote the new players. But this thing goes hand in hand with the new contract. If you give the coach a bigger contract, he's able to implement these ideas because he's not afraid. We've got our junior teams are doing very well. They win every game, they win everything. But when it comes to the senior team, we're not doing. What about just promote a group? We've got the likes of Chido Obi Martin doing very well in junior team. Promote them as a group, bring them into the setup, let them play some games, especially now the Premier League. I don't think we've got a lot to prove in the Premier League. Bring all of them. We've seen players who have come from the junior team. A lot have done well. Currently, we've got Garnacho, he was promoted, and we've got Maimo, he was promoted. With Kambala, who was promoted, he was doing well, he ended up being sold. A lot of people, Major Berry, who have been promoted and they've done well. Now we're seeing Collier, the emergence of Collier, have been promoted also and is doing well. So instead of running around looking for players who don't want to come, buying expensive players, just promote from the junior team. I'm sure it will do well. Even the other point, the people who are in charge of buying, look at the junior teams of other teams in England. Look at the divisions, the League One, the Championship. Look at players with the potential in those certain leagues. Players who are already in England. I'm sure it's a market which we haven't tapped. Look at Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres was at Coventry. No one wanted him in the Premier League. They thought because he's playing for Coventry, so he's not good enough to play for that for our team. But look at what he's doing now at Sporting. So go around in the Premiership. Look at people with the potential. I'm sure they'll do well. Than just look for players who are playing for big teams and stuff. That's my own taking on that. That's my own taking of that. And also, is going to the transfer department, the scouts and everyone, whoever is in charge of that department, explore more of the South American market. It's been long since we have a player who comes from that, who are scouted straight from that market. South American and also the Asian market. We've had South American, we've got Brazilians, we've got what, but it's been long since we got someone straight from South America. Just recently, we bought a left back straight from South America. I like those deals, but those players, they come cheap. And people from South America, they never disappoint. So it will come cheap. It's better than buying a European player or someone who has been playing in Europe. Explore more of the South American market. They'll come cheap, and you always get the results. And also explore the Asian market. Check around everywhere. Every team which has got an Asian player, that guy is a star boy. I don't know what they do in that country, in those countries in Asia. Those guys, they give their heart out. They play very well. They are very good, dedicated, serious. Look, the likes of Park, go to Wolves. They've got this Asian guy, go to PSG. Any team you think of, if they've got an Asian player in their ranking, that guy is a star. So my advice to them is to explore that market. The last people which I still remember, which played for Manchester United, which came from that part of the world, were Kagawa and Jun Park. And look what they achieved at Manchester United. So I said, this is an untapped territory. Please explore that market. And also, the media team at Manchester United, the hierarchy, my advice to them is to try to listen to different type of reporting. The mainstream, the ones which support, the ones which are against, even to go on the social media platform, to go on YouTube, listen to big content creators, the YouTube channels which talk about the game. Listen to people like us, the small ones. Anyone has got a view. Any view can help the team improve. Don't just say, because I'm in charge. I don't listen to what they're saying. If you're a player, we can understand, because there's chances that you might hear insults. But if you are a director, someone in a position of authority, we believe you take time to listen to some of this content. You can get advice or two. But remember, you people, you are rich, you've got a lot of things to do, you don't have time to watch soccer. Some of us, we don't have anything to do. Most of our time, as long as I'm at home, I'm watching soccer. So we've got a lot of time to see what's wrong. That's why, even if you remember, Zlatan said one time, people who become great coaches, they usually substitute. Those who are playing every day, those star players, they usually don't become good coaches. But the only thing is, this guy spent most of his time on the bench watching what the coach was doing and what was going on wrong. So he's different than a player who was playing every time. So that's what I'm saying. Us who have got a chance of watching soccer many times, football, we've got, I think, a bigger knowledge, because we can see what's wrong here, what's wrong that side. So never ignore small content creators. Never ignore these YouTubers or these podcasts who are out there talking about the team. You might get some points, one or two, which might help the team. The other thing about the owners, I'm sure this thing of being owned by a group, there's a family, there's this shareholders, there's this, it's a confusion because decisions they take time to be done. No one can do a decision on its own. Because talking of like now, the Glazer, it's a family on their own. INEOS is roughly a family. Because say Jim is got what he called INEOS Sport. It's him, there's a Brailsfeld, there's a Blank, there's what. He comes with a group of people. The Glazers, they've got their group. Then you employ again people to run Manchester. Then we've got people like legends, Ferguson, all those kind of people. All of those people, they've got a decision when it comes to Manchester United. That is also a big problem. Too many chefs spoil the meal. You just need one person to be in charge, like what they do in La Liga. You know, Real Madrid have got the president. He's in charge of everything. It's just the president and maybe one guy and the coach. That's it. You know, if you go to Barcelona, Laporta is the one in charge of everything. Not, you've got a lot of Glazers, a family of brothers and everything. They've got their people who are directly under them. Then we got INEOS, say Jim, say Jim, Brentford, Blank. Then we go down, we've got Omar, we've got Jason, we've got Vavel. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's confusion. We go to Ferguson on this side, he's got his people. Then we go to the there's a lot. We go to the shareholders. All these people, they are contributing to the problems of Manchester. The more we narrow that hierarchy, the more decisions are done quicker. The more we're able to win, the more we're able to move on as a team. But as long as we've got a lot of people who still have got a say in this team, believe you me, we won't get results sooner as you expect. That's what I think. We've talked about selling players. Never be afraid of selling players. And also, when you buy players, give them normal contracts. Don't give them this contract now that you've got Rashford who's on 350, we've got Casemiro who's on 350, Anthony was on how much. Don't give people crazy contracts. Amounts, they should be reasonable comparing with what others are doing. Because if that player proves to be a flop, it's difficult to sell that player. Because imagine you are getting 350 and there's someone who want to give you 170. You as a person, we can talk all what we want about Rashford this or Rashford that, but can he take half his salary? He might have responsibilities which are worth 350 now. So it means if he can go to a team which is going to give him 100 and something, it means he have to cut on his responsibilities. If there's people who are relying on that 350, now they have to get 170. We've got the likes of Eriba Maguire. They wanted to go last time, but because of the salary, you saw what happened with Wan-Bissaka. It's difficult to get rid of players of Manchester because of the salaries which they're getting. You saw Anthony now, Real Betis, they're paying about more than about 80 something percent of the wage. Man U is still paying. We don't know the deal with Wan-Bissaka, how much Man U is paying. We don't know about McTominay. We don't know also about Sancho. How much Man U are paying. Because end of the day, Man U have to sacrifice, they have to compromise to say, no, we pay this so that to let a player go. Now you're paying players to go. It was all because of the contracts which were done wrong. That's what happened. Also, don't be afraid to engage former coaches, because we've got a new setup here, a new hierarchy, new technical team. Don't be afraid to talk to former coaches. If it's Ruben Amorim, don't be afraid to talk to Ten Hag, Ranić, Jose Mourinho. Ask them how were they dealing with certain players. Also, the hierarchy, the technical department, technical director, football director, even the CEO. Talk to the likes of John Meta, Eddie Woodward. Talk to those people. Ask them also, how did they handle such issues? What do they think is the problem with the current owners or the previous owners or whoever? Talk to those guys. I'm sure that handover process is not happening. Because I remember Ranik, when Ranik went and we brought Tenag never talked to Ranik, of which that is wrong. They're supposed to talk. There's supposed to be a smooth handover, telling him that this player, this player, this player. Even Amorin and Van Nistelrooy, they were not talking. I believe they're supposed to be talking that what did you see wrong in Garnacho? What did you see wrong in Rashford? What did you see wrong in Maimo? To have that, to understand, okay, if this guy saw it this way, if me also, I can see that this guy is a problem. He's lazy. He can sprint more than this. Imagine you're coming, all of you are new. Me, I'm able to run 100 meters in 6 seconds. It's just an example. 100 meters in 6 seconds. I'm a player. Then there's a new coach and new people, everyone. Then when you are training tomorrow, me, I'm running 100 meters in 8 seconds, which means I'm 2 seconds slower. How do the coach know that this is not my best? Or this is my best? You see what I'm saying? So there need to be a connection between the previous setup and the current setup so that you do a smooth handover. These are some of the things which I believe can help the team. I don't know what to say. If you feel like I'm talking something which is nonsense, you can comment. If you feel that I'm talking something useful, you can also comment. I know all of you, before you listen to what somebody say, you're looking at the setup, the background, the lighting. Is the lighting good? Is what. But here it's not about the lighting. It's about what is coming out of my mouth. It's not about me, I've got a code or what. Do I look nice? Do I talk well? No. What am I talking? Does it make sense? I believe it makes sense.